Welcome on the Hands-On Time. My name is Mel and I'm doing watch reviews for you. So the topic of today is about this beautiful watch, the Orient Bambino in its second version. Orient is a watch company that made its debut in 1901. A guy called Shogoro Yoshida created the Orient Watch Company. He was basically making pocket watches, and after that in 1950 they were starting to do wristwatches. So a very long story short, because Orient has a really rich history. They created wonderful pieces, which is why they have this place in the horological world. In 2009, the Epson Seiko company, the watch group from Epson, the Seiko watch group, was interested in Orient, and the rights were bought, and they were fully integrated in 2017, so not so long ago. But nowadays, yes, the Orient watch company is a Seiko, Epson Seiko watch company to be correct. The cost, how much did I pay for this beautiful dress watch? 120 euros, okay? Do not pay more than 120 euros, for this watch. I'm thinking about creation watches, city watches, Joma Shop, you name it. All these grey market websites are always putting these watches, the Orient Bambinos, every generation, the first generation till the fifth, on sale. So do not pay more than 120 for this watch. The specs. What are the specs for this beautiful watch? Let me try and zoom it a little bit. So the specs for this beautiful watch. Let's start by the caliber. The caliber is the excellent F6724, which is really known for its reliability, like any in-house movement from Orient, because all the movements are in-house movement. You have a power reserve of 40 hours. You have a date complication. Let me zoom it for you. Beautifully executed. A date complication. You have a dome crystal, okay, which is not sapphire, but a mineral domed crystal. My version is the white version, okay, it's a white dial with copper colored hands and applied indices. The case is made out of stainless steel. The case diameter would be 40.5 millimeters. Wonderful, case diameter for this one. The lug-to-lug length would be 46.8 millimeters. We have an incredible thickness of 11.8 millimeters, and the water resistance is only 30 meters, which means you cannot swim with this watch. It's not made for it anyway. The band is made out of leather, as you can see, genuine leather. Trying to zoom it for you, yes, with the Orient connotation here, and the size of the band would be 21 millimeter, which is unusual, but yes, it is the case. 21 millimeters for the band. The good and the bad. What's good, what's bad about this watch? Well, let's start with the bad things. Okay, so what's bad about this watch is clearly it's the strap. Okay, it looks a little bit. A lot plasticky. Okay, the strap looks plasticky, and what else can I say about the bad things? The crown doesn't feel as smooth when you hand wind it than the Mako 2, the Mako that I presented on my channel. Let me show you another watch. This is my girlfriend's watch, which is a beautiful moon phase watch from Orient, as you can see, and the smoothness on this crown is way better than the Bambino one, this second version Bambino. But maybe this is only in my head, and it's not a deal breaker. Okay, but the crown is wonderful. As you can see, you even have small dents on it, and it's really easy to grab. But yeah, the feeling is not the same, and that's absolutely it for the bad things. Everything else on this watch is wonderful. So let's talk about the good things. The first thing is the movement. The movement is really reliable in this watch and differs from the first generation. The first generation had a movement that was really like the movement that you could find on this beautiful made in Japan Seiko 5, which is a movement that is non-hackable, okay, and that you could not hand wind. This is the 7S26 entry-level movement from Seiko, and this is something that really bothered me about this watch, you know, about this Seiko 5 that I love, by the way, okay? But yeah, on this movement, on the second generation, the movement is actually hackable. You see, the second hand stopped, and you can hand wind it. Okay, so that's the main difference. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful feature compared to the first generation. The second thing, it's the dome crystal. You have a dome crystal on this watch for the price, which creates a little bit of distortion, you know, on the sides, which is cool. And the other thing that is really cool about this watch is the thickness. For 120 euros, in an automatic watch, you have 11.8 millimeters of thickness. You know, this is actually really crazy, you know. For this price, apart from Seagull, it's really hard to find, you know, something that would stand beautifully on the wrist with a thickness that would allow it, you know, to stand beautifully on the wrist. So the thickness on this watch is really good, you know. The overall dimension of the watch, the 46.8 millimeters case diameter, are wonderful as well, and the thickness is really good on this watch. So the other thing that really is cool about this watch is the originality, you know, of its design. This is an original design from Orient. They weren't trying, you know, to emulate anything. They created this design, and this copper-colored, you know, hand and applied indices with that vintage, you know, type of a look is really wonderful. I mean, they nailed it. The other thing I wanted to talk about, but about my copy, is that my copy is made in Japan. So that's cool as well, you know. This is a made in Japan copy. You have to know that Orient is not making all their watches in Japan. All the movements are made in Japan, but other watches, they are just, you know, taking movements from Japan, taking them to Hong Kong and assembling, you know, the rest of the production in Hong Kong. So this is a made in Japan. So if there is the made in Japan connotation on the back of your watch, you have a made in Japan watch. Otherwise, it will be written, you would be able to read Japan movement, okay, Japan movement. So sorry, this is my cat, this is Tess, I don't know, maybe she's hungry, I'm sorry for that. Okay, so this is a made in Japan watch. As you can see, that watch is a made in Japan watch as well. So if you know something about, you know, the quality controls of Japanese people, they are like freaks, absolute freaks of quality control. So I always prefer something that would come from Japan. So I think that that's it for the good and the bad. Maybe another bad thing, and that's sad, is that the crown is not signed. Okay, but the crown is beautiful. As you can see, you have small dents on the crown, and this is actually beautiful, but they could have, you know, just signed the crown. That's another thing that is, you know, not a deal breaker, but that's actually sad, you know. I would have preferred a signed crown. How to wear this watch? Well, this is a dress watch, so you can wear this watch with a suit without any problems, and even in a casual, you know, chic type of outfit. And this is it. And there you go for the wrist shot. Okay, so I have 17 centimeters of circumference of a wrist, and as you can see, it embraces perfectly the entirety of my wrist. For 120 euros, having a watch that looks like this with these features is absolutely crazy. Let me push a little bit this so I can show you the sides. Really, really wonderful. I didn't break in the strap, okay? So be aware that when you will have the strap takes some time to break in, okay? When it will be you know, more flexible, the entirety of the watch will embrace your wrist, okay? So don't be fooled by that. As you can see, it embraces the entirety of the wrist. Okay, so 17 centimeters of circumference. I'm wearing my watches after the bone. Beautiful, really beautiful. So guys, as usual, let's take a moment. The beautiful applied indices, the wonderful minute markers, really well painted, that really add to the vintage look of the watch. There's a small grain on the dial, white dial, water resistant, the beautiful Orient logo. I really love the logo of Orient. I know many people don't like it. Me personally, I love it. Here's the beautifully executed date window and the effect of the light on the hands. Coppered color hands on this one. The dents on the wonderful crown, which you can grab really easily, sadly not signed. As you can see, the sides of the watch with the curved lugs, which helps for the stand. The back, let me show you the back. Orient automatic, the connotation, made in Japan connotation, stainless steel, water resistance, Epson, the company, and the reference number of the watch. So final thoughts. What are my final thoughts about this watch? Well, is it really good? Yes, it is really good. Is it the best dress watch in my watch collection? No, but it complements so well the rest of my collection. It's a really nice option. I clearly love this watch, so yeah, without a doubt, you know, if you're on the market for a dress watch, that one is really a watch that you should consider, you know. And even if you already have a dress watch, you know that this is a watch that you can add to your collection. I love that particular model. Okay, the first model wasn't hackable and didn't have the hand winding system, and the other ones, are looking like you know, some of them are looking like Skagen watches, you know, with the hands that are cut. Others are looking like the Seiko cocktail. If I want a Seiko cocktail, you know, I will buy myself a Seiko cocktail. I don't need a Bambino for that. And the other ones have also, you know, bigger specifications. The case is not as small as this one. I think that really Orient really put a lot of work in the second version, you know. They changed the movement, they really worked on the second version. The version that came after are not that original, are trying to emulate, you know, something that already exists. But that particular model is really original and really beautiful with this wonderful vintage look. So I would advise you to go with that one. But if the other ones, and if you have the wrist for it, because you need to check the, you know, the cases of the other one, you know, don't buy that, they are not the same specification. If you have the wrist for it, and if you love the other ones, it's the same movement. I mean, everything that comes after the second version are actually you know, they have the same caliber inside. Just go for it, you know, don't listen to me. I mean, that being said, they are beautiful. I don't like the one with the hands, with the cutting hands, but the other ones are beautiful. But me personally, with my size of wrist, that one is the one I prefer. So what do you think? You know, do you have this watch in your collection? Tell me in the comments, you know, interact with me so we can talk about it. Like, subscribe, comment, it really helps, you know, us small YouTubers to grow. And take care of yourselves.